Chapter 25:13. What a majestic image of a divine dragon. Yeah, it's just a statue and it has such a powerful aura. The four girls looked around the plaza with their eyes wide open. Girls, follow behind us. There are too many people here. Let's go to the front, where the battle pets are sold. An old man said to the four of them. Yes, Principal. They hurriedly followed behind and walked forward. That's the Northern Heaven Deity King. He hasn't established a force yet, and is a third-order immortal king. I didn't expect him to be here today. That's the Tianyin Immortal Dynasty, the Tianyin Deity Emperor, and the princes are here too. That's the Wuxia group. The chairman and the higher-ups are here too. Around them, exclamations could be heard. The four girls widened their eyes and scanned their surroundings from time to time. They had learned some information about the hundreds of thousands of planets in the universe from the artificial intelligence system. Now that they saw these legendary figures, they were filled with awe. These immortal dynasties and deity kings were just like the legends. Our teacher is so powerful now. At the same time, the four of them looked at each other with pride and joy. For people of humble origins like them to have such a teacher paying attention to them, it was an incomparably great opportunity. That's the market. I heard that hundreds of millions of people will be able to enter this time. I wonder how many battle pets will be on sale this time. I hope I can get one. Some of them discussed in hushed voices. Soon the crowd gathered at the entrance. There was a huge arched door in the shape of a dragon, with members of the Dragon Palace standing in 2 rows. They held weapons in their hands, and each of them had combat strength no lower than a 5th-order Eternal God Lord. There were a total of 5,000 Dragon Palace guards. At the front of the guards, there were 15 Immortal King-level members of the Dragon Palace guarding on both sides. 30 Immortal King experts are guarding the entrance. What kind of strength is this? So powerful. This is just a small part of the Dragon Palace's strength. All the experts and forces that arrived felt their hearts skip a beat. Even the voices of the surrounding people dropped. The group of people walked in with reverence in their hearts. Oh my God, these battle pets, so many battle pets. Crazy, crazy. Look ahead, look ahead. They're all Undying King battle pets. There are 80 of them. A whole 80. 80 Undying God King battle pets for sale. Fuck. The 5 battle pets in the center are all rank 4 Undying God King battle pets. 4th rank Undying God King battle pets are being sold in the Dragon Palace. And there are 4 of them. This. At this moment, a series of shocking voices came from the front. The people at the back who were about to enter froze. What? 80 Undying God King battle pets? How is that possible? Rank 4 Undying God King battle pet? Hiss, this level of desolate beast is enough to destroy our planet. Are you serious? 5 4th Order Immortal God King Realm battle pets. These 80 battle pets are enough to wipe out hundreds of thousands of planets. All the forces, all the experts, all the people were incomparably shocked. They knew that the Dragon Palace was powerful, but they didn't expect it to be this powerful. 80 Undying God King battle pets. Was this heaven-defying? 5 4th Order Immortal God King battle pets. Not to mention 5. Just 1 4th Order Immortal God King, from the Dongli Immortal Dynasty, was enough to make them invincible in this region. Now, the battle pets being sold by the Dragon Palace were enough to annihilate all of them. At this moment, all the Undying God Kings trembled. Which force could stand against such a force? Not only 80 Undying God King battle pets. There's also 4 to 500,000 Eternal God Lord battle pets. Another shocking voice came from the front. Eternal God Lords were already considered experts in this world. Yet the Dragon Palace was selling 4 to 500,000 Eternal God Lord battle pets. This other than shock, there was also deep respect. Dragon Palace was invincible. The same thought appeared in the minds of all the experts. Their expressions changed. Dragon King, the Dragon King has appeared. At this time, the first group saw a young man walking over, and was slightly shocked. Greetings, Dragon King. They quickly bowed and greeted Wuxia. At the back, the group also bowed when they heard the voice. Everyone, please take a look at the battle pets first. We'll talk about some things when we're done. Wuxia smiled at them and waved his hand casually. Yes, Dragon King. The group continued walking in with smiles on their faces. This is the Dragon King, so handsome. Much more handsome than the one on the AI. At the back, the 4 girls followed the crowd and walked in. At this time, a familiar voice came from the side. They turned around and saw that it was the girl from not long ago. What are you looking at? You've met the Dragon King now, haven't you? In the future, the 4 of you can brag to others. That girl noticed the 4 of them looking at her, lifted her head slightly and said plainly, Let's go find the Dragon King. At this time, the Xiantian Academy principal turned to the 4 girls and shot a glance at that girl. Yes. The 4 girls ignored that girl and followed behind immediately. She was slightly taken aback as she looked at the group of them. A person from a small place wants to talk to the Dragon King? Do you think you're qualified? Why don't you take a look in the mirror? As she spoke, her body stiffened very quickly. Her face was filled with shock as she stared ahead. There, the Dragon King was talking to the group of old men. Soon, the Dragon King touched the heads of the 4 girls. This caused her to widen her eyes in disbelief. Those people should be from Tianza continent. The palace of the Dragon King is there now. Who are those 4 girls? They seem to be on good terms with the Dragon King. I think they are the 4 students that the Dragon King taught casually before he rose to power. Although they aren't disciples, the 4 girls have achieved great success. Not only have they achieved great success, but even the divine sons and princes of the powerful forces can't be compared to them. Even the deity king has to be polite to the 4 girls who are at the divine state. Sounds of discussion could be heard from the surroundings. All the forces had to think of ways to please the Dragon King. As for those who were close to the Dragon King, they would naturally ask around, so that they wouldn't even know how they died. How is this possible? A cry of disbelief came from her mouth. Xiao Yu apologized to those 4 girls later. You must get their forgiveness. Otherwise, we won't be able to protect you. At this time, an old man in front suddenly stared at her and said with a sullen face. The girl's heart turned cold. Her body trembled. Chapter 25:14. The 4 of you aren't too bad. You've already ignited 6 divine fires. Wang Xian patted the heads of the 4 girls at the plaza of the Dragon Palace's bazaar. Speaking of which, the 4 of them were Wang Xian's real students. He had also imparted the curse inheritance to them. Now that they had ignited 6 divine fires in a year, they were considered to be very talented. Of course, this was also due to the Xiantian territory's intensive nurturing after Wang Xian left. Now the 4 of them had a much higher status than the Xiantian descendants in the Xiantian territory. This is all because of teacher. However, we still embarrass teacher. The 4 of them lowered their heads and said softly, Bring them to a place to rest and give them the 4 fruits. Wang Xian gestured to a Dragon Palace civil servant and said, Yes, Dragon King. The civil official immediately nodded respectfully. Wang Xian called the 4 students over, mainly to give each of them an eternal pregnancy fruit. Now that there were many of these fruits in the Dragon Palace, he might as well give them to the 4 of them. After all, the 4 of them were his students. After chatting with Commander Xian and the rest for a while, Wang Xian looked around. At this moment, the plaza was filled with people, about 100 million people. He took a glance and saw that there were over 1,000 Undying God King experts. Over 1,000 Undying God Kings. This was already a lot. After all, many Undying God Kings needed to guard a region and could not leave on their own accord. Other than the Undying God Kings, the rest were mostly God Lords. The God Realm cultivators that came all had decent backgrounds. The experts from the various forces gathered around the battle pets, their eyes burning with passion. The prices of the Dragon Palace battle pets are the same as before, very cheap, but we still can't afford them. Rank 4 Undying God King battle pets. A total of 5 of them. We can't afford them even if we sell everything we have. In the past, I thought we had a lot of resources, but now we can't afford them. In the center, a dozen rank 3 Undying God King experts stood there. They were the leaders of the 4th-rated forces, considered very powerful in this region. But looking at the battle pets in front of them, their eyes lit up. They couldn't afford them. Rank 4 Undying God King battle pets. Even if they sold everything they had, they still couldn't afford them. After all, that was a battle pet that was more powerful than them. Forget it. Let's go take a look at the other God King battle pets. If we grit our teeth, we can buy a rank 3 Undying God King battle pet. I don't think anyone in this area can afford the 5 battle pets. The leaders of the few forces shook their heads helplessly and walked to the side. Wang Xian looked over and frowned slightly. Can't afford it? I don't think they can afford it. A 4th Order Immortal God King battle pet is worth a fortune, even in the entire resplendent area. Wang Xian mumbled to himself before shaking his head speechlessly. He had thought that he could improve his strength by selling the battle pets. It seemed that he was doomed. No one in this area can afford it. Looks like I'll have to sell it in other areas. But I'm not sure about the other areas either. A contemplative look appeared on his face. In this region, Dragon Palace had already become the king. He had reached his upper limit. If he wanted to continue to improve, he would have to enter a stronger region. But now, Dragon Palace had to settle down and move to a stronger region, which would take at least a year. Dragon King, all the Eternal God Lord battle pets have been sold. Except for the 5 Immortal God King battle pets. The rest have all been sold. An hour later, Prime Minister Turtle walked over and reported to Wang Xian. Only the 5 4th Order Immortal God King battle pets are left? Wang Xian mumbled to himself. It was just as he had expected. They could afford a 3rd Order Immortal God King battle pet if they grit their teeth. But a 4th Order Immortal God King battle pet was not something that these forces could afford. I'll invite all the forces to a banquet in an hour. Wang Xian said to Prime Minister Turtle. Yes, Dragon King. Prime Minister Turtle nodded. Today was not only the Dragon Palace's battle pet sale. Dragon Palace also had something to announce. Soon, everyone knew that Dragon Palace had invited all the forces and Immortal God King experts to a banquet. Regarding this, the forces were not too surprised. After all, Dragon Palace was now the new king. Naturally, there would be some new rules. Regarding Dragon Palace, they were more relaxed. They had also done some research and found out that Dragon King was not a bossy person. Everyone please take a seat. An hour later, beside the Dragon Palace's battle pet sale, in an even more luxurious plaza, tables and chairs were arranged neatly, and there was a lot of food on them. Wang Xian sat on the dragon throne right at the front. One by one, the experts from the forces entered, cupped their fists towards Wang Xian, and sat in front of the tables and chairs. Over 1,000 Immortal God King experts had arrived. Greetings, Dragon King. When everyone arrived, a few experts stood up and greeted Wang Xian respectfully. Everyone please take a seat. There's no need to be so reserved. Today, I've invited all of you here to discuss a few things and make some announcements. I won't beat around the bush. Today, Dragon Palace announced that in this region, hundreds of thousands of human planets, we will be recruiting marine creatures as disciples. We only recruit members of the marine species. I hope that everyone can cooperate and inform your planets. Wang Xian waved to the crowd and said with a smile. Dragon King, such a small matter, we promise to complete it. The forces replied immediately. Hehe, then I'll have to thank everyone. Wang Xian nodded with a smile and raised his glass to the crowd. The experts immediately picked up their glasses. Secondly, there's another matter that I would like to cooperate with all of you on. Of course, it doesn't matter if you agree or not. Our Dragon Palace operates in the ocean, and each planet only occupies the ocean. We want to enter the oceans of all planets and build the Dragon Palace there. Of course, once we enter a planet, we will assist you to guard the planet and eliminate external threats. Next, Wang Xian started to converse with the various forces. According to the Dragon Palace's plan, the Dragon Palace would enter the oceans of all planets and assist the forces on land to guard the planet together. If there were external threats, the Dragon Palace would eliminate them. For those planets that were not threatened by dire beasts, the Dragon Palace was willing to exchange their existing planets and land. The planets that were previously controlled by the Dongli Immortal Celestial Dynasty and the 100 planets controlled by the Iron Blood Alliance were all better planets in this region. Of course, the Dragon Palace also guaranteed that they would not interfere in their affairs. After more than an hour of discussion, All the forces agreed readily. This situation was also tied to the Dragon Palace. Although the Dragon Palace would not intervene when other forces invaded, they would at least lend a hand if there were dire beasts invading. Chapter 25:15. The chaotic tiger demon kingdom was located in the South Star Galaxy. The Imperial Star region was a huge region divided into 9 galaxies, 3 small cosmic islands, and a large central island. The region that Wuxia was in now was at the edge of the South Star Galaxy, while the chaotic tiger demon kingdom was at the center of the galaxy. In the Imperial Star region, the small cosmic islands were at the center of the Imperial Star region, while the central cosmic island occupied by the Imperial Court was at the core. The chaotic tiger demon kingdom was an eternal celestial dynasty with sky beasts as their main force. They were considered average among the second-rate forces, but in the center of the South Star Galaxy, they were considered the overlord. Recently, all the citizens of the chaotic tiger demon kingdom could feel a joyous atmosphere. Be it the orders from the king or the benefits, they were all surprising. The sacred palace of the chaotic tiger demon kingdom was located in a huge canyon. At the entrance, there were 2 huge statues of roaring divine tigers. The entire statue covered an area of 10 kilometers and was extremely majestic. In a study room within the sacred palace of the chaotic tiger demon kingdom, an elegant-looking middle-aged man sat beside a burly old man with the word Wang carved on his forehead. The 2 of them were chatting happily. At this moment, the middle-aged man sensed the information on the artificial intelligence system. He was taken aback when he saw the name displayed on it. He immediately opened it, and when he saw the contents inside, his face was filled with astonishment. "Brother, what's the matter?" the old man asked when he saw the expression of the state preceptor of the chaotic tiger demon kingdom. "Brother, who? It's the information about the Dragon King. He's the leader of a force that we met in the Lorman Beast Garden," the state preceptor said to the old man immediately. "Oh, the Dragon King with 6 5th-rank Immortal King Realm warriors under him that you mentioned? It's surprising that they have such strength at the edge of the South Star Galaxy." The old man nodded and said, "Brother, who? The strength of the Dragon King might be stronger than we imagined. He sent me a message asking if the chaotic tiger demon kingdom is interested in his battle pets. He has 5 Immortal King battle pets for sale," the state preceptor said with flickering eyes. 5 4th-rank Immortal King battle pets? This Dragon King isn't simple. The old man raised his eyebrows. "Brother, who? Do we want these battle pets?" the Imperial tutor asked. "Yes, of course. Grandpa E is about to break through. When the time comes, we will hold a celebration to show off the chaotic tiger celestial dynasty's prestige and strength. 4th-rank Immortal King Realm battle pets are rare in our area. At that time, we will use the 4th Order Undying God King wild beasts as beasts to show off our might," the old man said immediately. "All right, I'll bring some people there and make friends with them." The Imperial advisor nodded and immediately replied with a message. The old man nodded with a smile on his face. "Oh, I have the intention to buy it. It will arrive in a few days." In the Dragon Palace of Tianza Continent, Wuxia smiled when he saw the reply from the Grand Preceptor of Tiger Chaos Demon Kingdom. As long as they bought it, he would be able to increase his strength. Furthermore, with the resources he needed, selling a rank 4 Undying God King battle pet was more than enough. The rest of the resources could increase Dragon Palace's combat power by at least 23 5th Order Undying Gods. It could greatly enhance the high-end combat power of the Dragon Palace. "Dragon King, there are 2 people outside requesting an audience. One is a veiled girl, and the other is a woman." At this moment, a patrolling Yiksha came in and reported to Wuxia. "Oh, they're here?" Wuxia raised his eyebrows. With a swift move, he flew out. At the same time, above the Dragon Palace, Emperor Star Maiden and Anting sized up the Dragon Palace with curiosity. This was their first time coming to the Dragon Palace. Looking at the towering palace on the seabed, they were filled with amazement. "Welcome, beautiful Star Maiden," Wuxia greeted with a smile as he flew out and saw the 2 of them. "Don't talk about these useless things. You said that you can upgrade the snake to a rank 4 or 5 Undying God King within a year or two. And now you want me to remind you that I have to come personally. Emperor Star Maiden looked at Wang Xian with dissatisfaction. I've been too busy recently. Come, follow me in. I'll help you upgrade now. Wang Xian smiled and gestured for them to enter the Dragon Palace. The moment they stepped into the Dragon Palace, the two of them felt the substantial law energy. Their eyes widened and were filled with astonishment. Is this the foundation of the Dragon King? Is this the reason why you can upgrade so quickly? Anting looked around and couldn't help but ask. Such a place was far from comparable to the Grotto Heavens in the Imperial Court. Such intense law energy. No wonder you can upgrade so quickly. A day of cultivation here is equivalent to a year in the outside world. Emperor Star Maiden opened her mouth slightly and her eyes flickered. For the past half a year, they had been living in seclusion in Emil Lin's celestial residence. However, they had been paying close attention to the Dragon Palace. Especially in the past half a year, they could obtain all kinds of information from the artificial intelligence system. They could clearly sense that the Dragon Palace was suppressing the entire region at a terrifying speed. Based on their judgment, there were no less than 200 Undying God Kings in the Dragon Palace. A faction with 200 Undying God Kings, even in a second-rate faction, would be considered quite strong. The improvement of the Dragon Palace was too terrifying. He let the snake out. I'll be able to upgrade it in the next few days. Wang Xian smiled as he said to her, All right, do you still have a place to stay? We'll be staying here from now on. Emperor Star Maiden squinted her eyes and said, All right, I've already invited you over as a guest. I'll arrange for someone to bring you there later. Wang Xian didn't mind. They were indebted to Qing Yue and the rest. Helping them and letting them stay here was a small matter. Thank you. The Emperor Star Maiden smiled at Wang Xian. This guy is finally doing something. Wang Xian smiled and brought the snake to the dragon transformation pool. He paired the dragon blood with some treasures to help it upgrade. Grandpa Grand Tutor, look at the information from the artificial intelligence system in this region. The Dragon King of the Dragon Palace is the king of this region. 2 days later, dozens of figures appeared in front of the Iron Blood Alliance. One of the girls looked through the information of this area with her brain and said with a slight surprise, With their strength, it's not surprising that they're the king of this region. Sky Demon Grand Tutor looked around, took out the artificial intelligence system, and sent a message to Wang Xian. I'll inform the Dragon King. Let's go to a planet in front. He'll be here to pick us up soon. Soon, Sky Demon Grand Tutor received the message and said to the crowd. Chapter 25:16. Sky Demon Imperial Tutor, and the rest were both guests and customers. Wang Xian brought them to Dongqi Planet for some delicacies, before arranging for them to stay at the Dragon Palace. A level 6 Dragon Palace could already be considered as a paradise. Sky Demon Imperial Tutor, and the rest were very satisfied with Wang Xian's reception. After receiving the divine stones from Wang Xian, they immediately informed the Chaotic Tiger Demon Empire to purchase a large number of elixir pills. The divine stones in Wang Xian's hands were not a small number. These divine stones were enough to exchange for a large number of resources. Next, Wang Xian began to assist the experts from the Chaotic Tiger Demon Empire in taming the 5 wild beasts. Great-grandfather Imperial Tutor, this Dragon King is so powerful. Look at the information on the artificial intelligence system. TSK. It feels like he's even more powerful than our Chaotic Tiger Immortal Dynasty. In the residence of the Chaotic Tiger Demon Empire in the Dragon Palace, Tiger Lingyao flipped through all kinds of information about the Dragon Palace and the Dragon King and exclaimed in shock. Yeah, very powerful indeed. The speed of his rise is very fast. Sky Demon Imperial Tutor nodded and was slightly shocked. Over the past 2 days, he had also looked at the information on the artificial intelligence system in this region and was also slightly shocked by the power of the Dragon Palace. He was also full of curiosity and amazement towards the Dragon King. Powerful beast taming ability. Creepy array that trapped deity kings. Powerful members of the Dragon Palace. This gave him a general understanding of this force. Sir Imperial Tutor. At this time, two figures walked over and greeted them respectfully. How's the surrounding area? Sky Demon Imperial Tutor looked at them and asked. The two of them had gone out to check out the surrounding information. Of course, the main reason was to find out about the Dragon Palace. Sir Imperial Tutor, we did not go deep into the area. Based on our simple investigation, this region and the oceans of hundreds of thousands of habitable planets are all under the control of the Dragon Palace. Now, many powerful forces in this region feel that the Dragon Palace is an invincible existence. That's because some of the people they sent out are stronger than them. Someone on the artificial intelligence system guessed that the Dragon Palace has more than 200 Immortal King experts. However, some major forces said that the Dragon Palace has no less than 300 Immortal King experts. The two of them reported, their eyes filled with shock. Their chaotic tiger demon empire's divine king powerhouses were merely around 300 at present. However, this Dragon Palace had at least 300 undying god kings. How could they not be shocked? Dragon Palace can't be underestimated. In less than a year, they sold over 100 immortal god king battle pets. They might have more god kings than we expected. The Imperial Tutor sighed with emotion. That's amazing. That Dragon King is so easygoing and energetic, but I didn't expect him to have such a powerful force. Tiger Lingya said enviously. This Dragon Palace is worth befriending. If we have time, we can communicate more. The Imperial Preceptor mumbled to himself. On the third day, the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom sent over the pills that Wang Xian needed to buy, and Wang Xian also helped tame the 4 4th-level Immortal King realm beasts. Thank you, Imperial Tutor. I've troubled you this time. Wang Xian received all the rewards and expressed his gratitude to them. Haha, don't stand on ceremony, Dragon King. One more friend means one more path. Our Tiger Chaos Immortal Dynasty is willing to be friends with the Dragon Palace. The Imperial Tutor laughed heartily. Our Dragon Palace is also willing to make friends with you. Wang Xian extended his hand and shook it. All right, Dragon King. Come to our Tiger Luan Immortal Celestial Dynasty when you have time. Let us receive you well. The Imperial Tutor invited. There should be a chance. Wang Xian nodded. All right, it's a deal. We'll make a move first. See you in the future. The Imperial Tutor cupped his fists at Wang Xian and led the group away. Wang Xian sent them off into the sky and disappeared with a smile on his face. Befriending the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom was also beneficial for the Dragon Palace. At the very least, the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom had helped a little this time, and even bought 5 4th-level Immortal King Realm battle pets. This time my strength can be enhanced. Wang Xian looked at the resources in his hands. With a swift move, he flew towards the Dragon Palace. After entering the Dragon Palace, he immediately returned to the Tianza Continent Dragon Palace and appeared in the Dragon King Hall. Roar! He let out a soft roar and turned into a 7-colored divine dragon. He hovered in front of the dragon throne, took out the pills and consumed them quickly. Wang Xian's source dragon energy increased at a terrifying speed as he swallowed a large number of pills. Ding! Congratulations to the host for leveling up to rank 9 Eternal Divine Lord. Name, Wang Xian. Race, Yin Yang 5 Elements Divine Dragon, 1 with the dragon level, rank 9 Eternal Divine Lord, 6th Transformation of Divine Dragon Transformation Source Force, 324344/100000 Superpower. Dominate the marine animals. Rule any marine animals that are lower than your own level. Devour living creatures. Extract source force from living creatures. 5 elements control art of cultivation. Divine dragon transformation superpowers. Soul assimilation. Spiritual attachment yin yang. 5 elements dragon eyes dharma. 5 elements grindstone. Dragon country in the palm. Dragon head descending. 10,000 miles dragon body. Yin yang 2 poles. Yin yang 5 elements bowl. Divine dragon tail whip. Law of nature. Metal, wood, water, fire, earth, light, darkness. Rank 9 God Kingdom. Dragon Palace. Own Dragon Palace. Level 7 Dragon Palace members. 379844 soon. The system notification sounded. Wang Xian shuddered. and a majestic dragon aura swept across the surroundings. The seven-colored law formed the shadow of a divine dragon, circling around him. Wang Xian opened his eyes, and his pupils seemed to contain the starry sky. Roar! He couldn't help but let out a deep roar, and his eyes were filled with excitement. Just one more level. Once I break through to the Immortal King realm, I will have the strength of a rank 7 Immortal King. Wang Xian looked at his attributes and smiled. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Crackle, crackle. Ding. Congratulations, host. A new dragon species has been born in the Dragon Palace, the Heavenly Lightning and Earthly Fire Dragon and Phoenix species. At this time, the cry of a phoenix accompanied by the roar of thunder reverberated throughout the entire Dragon Palace. Following which, the system notification sounded, and Wang Xian was taken aback. Ah, this is. His face lit up, and he immediately flew towards the dragon transformation pool. At this time, above the dragon transformation pool, two fiery red phoenixes were circling in the sky. Their wings were swaying, and they looked extremely beautiful. There was a lightning dragon circling around them, making them look even more majestic and arrogant. Heavenly Lightning and Earthly Fire Dragon and Phoenix species. What is this? Wang Xian looked at the two phoenixes, and his eyes sparkled. Xiao Xian. At this time, the two phoenixes also looked at Wang Xian, and flew over with joy. Shuqing Fengwan, you guys have evolved. Wang Xian went up to them and said with joy. Xiao Xian. When the Dragon Palace obtained the Wutong tree, it intertwined with the Nirvana Thunder tree and underwent changes. With the addition of the dragon and phoenix blood, we evolved. After this evolution, we are much stronger than before. I feel like we can fight against those who are 4 levels higher. The two girls exclaimed in surprise. What? Fighting against those who are 4 levels higher? This has surpassed the pinnacle dragon species of the Dragon Palace. Wang Xian was slightly shocked and soon he was overjoyed. Chapter 25:17. The Divine Dragon Clan, the strongest dragon species in the Dragon Palace, was only comparable to a pure divine dragon. Even the Berserk dragon species was only comparable to the Wind Divine Dragon, Fire Divine Dragon, and the other 7 types of divine dragons. However, the combination of the Divine Wutong tree, the Thunder Nirvana tree, and the Dragon Blood and Phoenix Blood gave birth to the Heavenly Lightning Earthly Fire Dragon and Phoenix Seed. This dragon species was comparable to the rare dragon species of the Divine Dragon race, such as the Bone Dragon, the Frost Divine Dragon, and some other multi-elemental divine dragons. Bone Dragon, Frost Divine Dragon. This kind of divine dragon, even in the glorious era of the Divine Dragon race, was very, very rare. There were only 2 or 3 of the most powerful divine dragons, the 5 elements divine dragons, and the light and dark divine dragons. Now, Guan Shuqing and Feng Wan's Heavenly Lightning, and Earthly Fire Dragon and Phoenix Seeds, were the pinnacle existences in the universe. In the past, in the entire universe, there were no more than 50 creatures that could be stronger than this dragon. One could imagine what kind of existence it was. Our evolution must have a lot to do with the progenitor tree, Feng Wan said, her face full of smiles. In the past, it was already not bad if they could fight someone 1 or 2 ranks higher than them. But now, they could fight someone 4 ranks higher. Their current battle prowess had already reached the 5th Order Undying God King realm. That's a good thing. Oh right, has the giant galactic beast Stand Serpent evolved? Wang Xian looked to the side of the dragon transformation pool. It has already evolved. Guan Shuqing and the rest nodded. They knew about the Stand Snake, and the girl who came to the Dragon Palace. However, Wang Xian quickly explained that the Emperor Star Maiden, and the rest were the benefactors of Qingyue and Lingxiu. Even so, the group of girls looked him up and down for a long time, and even said, "Are you going to repay me with your body?" At that time, Wang Xian was speechless. He had to coax the girls for a long time before he could appease them. And that's good. Wang Xian nodded his head, and looked at Feng Wan Shuqing. As for the fire phoenixes in the past, you guys can let them evolve. After they evolve, even if they can't fight 4 levels higher than you guys, they can still fight 3 levels higher, and become the pinnacle dragon species of the Dragon Palace. Alright Xiao Xian, Did your strength increase just now? Guan Shuqing nodded. Well, I'm going to upgrade the high-end combat power of the Dragon Palace. Wang Xian replied. After exchanging a few more words with the two girls, he returned to the Dragon King Hall and immediately ordered Prime Minister Turtle to gather all the Undying God King members of the Dragon Palace. Not including the Devouring Dragon, the Undying God King had around 500 members. Wang Xian took out the resources from selling the 5 Undying God King battle pets and devoured them to help them improve their strength. The resources he used to upgrade himself were not even worth the price of an Immortal God King battle pet. He still had enough resources for the members of Dragon Palace to upgrade. In the next few days, the number of 5th Order God King Realm Immortals in the Dragon Palace reached 38. Including the Devouring Dragon, there were a total of 45. The only 6th Order Undying God King was Wuxia. Next, I need to stabilize my strength and master some formations. After all the members had leveled up, Wang Xian decided to settle down. He needed to settle down, and so did the members of the Dragon Palace. The strength of the 5 doppelgangers in the 5 elements grindstone was now exactly the same as him. Wang Xian could also use the spirit arrays that they controlled immediately. However, this was not enough. They also had to settle down and master more array formations. In the next few months, Wang Xian immersed himself in the spirit arrays. In the outside world, the hundreds of thousands of planets in the starry sky had also calmed down. As the Dragon Palace had helped them resolve the external threats, this region gradually became lively and bustling. Especially the East Pool planet. It was much more lively than before. The Dragon Palace grew stronger every day. Because of the suppression of the Dragon Palace, the oceans were calm. The Emperor Star Princess also refused to leave the Dragon Palace. Because a day of cultivation in the Dragon Palace was equivalent to a year of cultivation for her. In these days, they had also witnessed the strength of the Dragon Palace. This made Anting want the Emperor Star Princess to hug Wang Xian's thigh tightly. As long as they hugged the thigh of the Dragon Palace, it would definitely be beneficial to them in the future. While the Dragon Palace was improving rapidly, the Blazing God Dynasty opposite the Lorman Desolate Beast Garden was also paying attention to the development of the Dragon Palace. As they saw the Dragon Palace getting stronger and stronger, their faces turned uglier by the day. They contacted the young master in the central region, but that young master also fell silent and did not reply. This made the God Emperor of the Blazing God Dynasty extremely worried. What if the Dragon Palace attacked one day? How were they going to defend? This made the Blazing God Dynasty nervous. They started to think of ways to establish relations with other forces and climb up to the stronger forces. Time passed slowly. 8 months passed in the blink of an eye. These 8 months were like a snap of the fingers to the universe. Ha ha ha, finally. However, this period of time was a long wait for the entire chaotic tiger demon country. They were waiting for this voice. When this voice sounded, a majestic figure floated in the sky behind the divine palace of the chaotic tiger demon country. This majestic old man had a white divine tiger totem on his back. The divine tiger was lifelike and filled with endless majesty. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. At this moment, the surrounding figures flew over. When they saw the majestic figure in the sky, their faces were filled with excitement. The king of the chaotic tiger demon country, who was wearing a tiger robe and had the word king on his forehead, clenched his fists in excitement. Congratulations to the old marshal for breaking through to the 7th Order Immortal King realm. Congratulations to the chaotic tiger demon country. Congratulations to the chaotic tiger demon country. Everyone roared with excitement. Ha ha ha. The old marshal laughed heartily. Congratulations to you, old brother. You're one step ahead of us. Your breakthrough is a great fortune for the entire chaotic tiger demon country. With this advancement, we can take another step forward. We can now kill our enemies with our own hands. Haha, soon, it will be the 20 million year anniversary of our chaotic tiger demon country's founding. The 20 million year dynasty founding ceremony is the time for our chaotic tiger demon country to showcase our strength. It will also be a time for everyone to be shocked. The two old men by the side clenched their fists as they spoke passionately. Great, great, great. We'll invite everyone to the banquet. The old marshal clenched his fists and roared in a low voice. Get ready. For the 20-million-year dynasty founding ceremony, we'll invite everyone, be it friend or foe. Hee. The king of the chaotic tiger demon country waved his arm and ordered loudly. Yes. Everyone nodded excitedly. Half a year has passed. I've more or less mastered all the arrays. At the same time, in the Dragon Palace, Wuxia stretched his body and muttered to himself. In 8 months' time, all 8 of his doppelgangers had comprehended the arrays at the same time. In terms of arrays, he could already trap and kill 5th Order Immortal King Realm experts. Now that there were 5 5th Order Immortal King Realm doppelgangers in the 5 Elements grindstone, it was even more terrifying. It's about time. Now that the speed of improvement of the members of the Dragon Palace has slowed down, it's time to enter the center of the South Star system. Wuxia muttered to himself. The Dragon Palace's foundation was almost complete. Chapter 25:18. Wuxia and the group flew out of the Dragon Palace and surveyed their surroundings in the desolate ocean of the planet. This was not the first time Wuxia had come to this planet. The Dragon Palace was built by him. There were no humans on this barren planet. There were not many creatures in the ocean. The main purpose of the Dragon Palace was to build a teleportation formation. It would take at least a month to fly here from Tianzi continent. It would also take 5 to 6 days to fly from Lorman Desolate Beast Garden. Wuxia and the group hovered above the planet and immediately searched for the location of the chaotic tiger demon country. Wuxia took a look at the route planned by the artificial intelligence system. The center of the South Star Galaxy was more prosperous than the starry sky of Tianzi continent. Once they reached the nearest planet, they would be able to teleport. After a few transfers, it would only take them a few hours to reach their destination. If they were to fly, even an immortal king would need a few months. According to the artificial intelligence system, there were more than 1 billion planets in the center of the South Star Galaxy. There were close to 1 million habitable planets for humans. Even an immortal king would need at least half a year to travel across the entire galaxy. And this was flying at top speed without any rest. I've been to the South Star Galaxy a few times. There are a total of 5 commercial planets. This time, our concert will be held on Xinghua Planet, which isn't far from the chaotic tiger demon country. Emperor Star Maiden looked at the map and said, Let's fly to the nearest planet first. It will take about 10 hours. Wuxia looked at the distance and said, Dragon King, since you guys are so rich, you should buy a spaceship. Then, you don't have to travel by yourself. Emperor Star Maiden teased Wuxia. Where's the spaceship of a superstar like you? Wuxia asked her. He knew that Emperor Star Maiden had a rather fast spaceship. My spaceship can only carry about 12 people, she said plainly. Flying isn't bad either. We can see the scenery of the universe. Tang Yinxian said with a smile. Sister Yinxian, you can see the scenery if you're strong. But I'm different. Emperor Star Maiden said enviously. She now understood the strength of the Dragon Palace. Sister Yinxian, who was younger than her, had the combat strength of a second-stage immortal king. This, when she found out, she was shocked beyond words. Let me help you improve your strength. Tang Yinxian smiled at her, and the group flew toward the nearest planet. The 2 girls beside him were chatting nonstop, and their chatter made the journey a little livelier. Wuxia smiled at the side. Yinxian loved singing. This time, she had found a like-minded friend. 10 hours later, the group arrived at a planet and began teleporting through the teleportation circle. After 5 transfers, they arrived at the planet where the chaotic tiger demon kingdom was located. This time, the chaotic tiger demonic kingdom is holding a very big event. They have invited many big and small forces. After all, this is a celebration of the founding of the dynasty. It has a lot of historical significance. I heard that they even invited their old enemy, the Monster Slayer sect. TSK. It seems like they want to intimidate the Monster Slayer sect. They have been enemies with the Monster Slayer sect for tens of millions of years, and their strength is about the same. As soon as he stepped out of the teleportation formation, the bustling noises entered his mind. It was obviously much livelier than the previous few transit planets. Wang Xian looked around and realized they were in a huge canyon in the mountains. There were all kinds of buildings on the surrounding mountains. The buildings were a little strange, and were obviously in the style of the demonic beast clan. At this time, the surroundings of the teleportation formation were filled with forces from all over. Wang Xian looked around and realized there were many experts. Just around the area, there were thousands of immortal God King experts. This is indeed the center of the South Star system, Wang Xian murmured. Please show me your invitation letter. At this time, two middle-aged men with wings walked over and spoke politely. Here you go. Wang Xian handed over the invitation letter. Honorable Dragon King, please follow us. When the two middle-aged men saw the invitation letter, they immediately showed great respect and said respectfully, let's go. Wang Xian looked around. Clearly, their invitation letter was a little different from the others. Honorable Dragon King, we will bring you into the Demon God Palace. The two middle-aged men from the chaotic tiger demon kingdom said respectfully. Wang Xian nodded his head. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Soon, a huge bird with a length of about 500 meters flew over. The two soldiers from the chaotic tiger demon kingdom signaled to them, Wang Xian, and the group immediately flew up. Chirp, chirp. The birds and beasts flew towards the mountains ahead. Demonic beasts loved mountains and forests. Two incomparably huge statues of divine tigers appeared in front of everyone. A vast and barren palace appeared in front of them. In the sky, a group of soldiers with wings swept past them and allowed them to enter. The birds and beasts entered the palace and landed on a small grassland not long after. Ha ha ha, Dragon King, welcome to our chaotic tiger demon kingdom. Thank you for coming. Just as they landed, the imperial tutor of the chaotic tiger immortal dynasty, who had received the news, welcomed them enthusiastically. Haha, since the imperial tutor has invited us with great hospitality, it's only natural for us to come. Wang Xian walked over and shook hands with him. It's our honor. Please come in, Dragon King. We have prepared a banquet. The imperial tutor said enthusiastically. All right. Wang Xian nodded his head with a smile and followed the imperial tutor into the palace. Along the way, the imperial tutor introduced some of the items in the palace to Wang Xian, introduced the chaotic tiger demon kingdom, and this celebration. You must be the Dragon King, young and promising. When the group entered a palace, a burly old man in a tiger robe with the word, Wang, on his forehead welcomed them with a smile. Dragon King, this is the king of our chaotic tiger demon kingdom. The imperial tutor introduced to Wang Xian. King of the chaotic tiger demon kingdom. I've long heard of your name. Wang Xian smiled and cupped his fists at the old man. Haha, you're welcome. Speaking of which, we still have to thank you for what happened previously. Come, take a seat since you've come from afar. Have some food first. I'll get someone to bring you to your resting place later. The king of the chaotic tiger demon kingdom gestured to Wang Xian courteously. Ever since the imperial tutor and the rest returned and heard some news about the dragon palace, the king of the chaotic tiger demon kingdom and the rest believed that the strength of the dragon palace should not be underestimated. Even if they were not as strong as the chaotic tiger demon kingdom, they were not inferior to them. Therefore, he discussed with the imperial tutor and allowed them to stay in the palace. Moreover, he invited them to a banquet in advance to build a good relationship with them. It could be said that the chaotic tiger demon kingdom placed the most importance on the dragon palace in this celebration, because the dragon palace might become their true friend. This was something that the other forces in this region could not compare to. Chapter 25:19. Heavenly Monarch Tiger Luan is too polite. Seeing how polite the king of Tiger Luan was, Wang Xian smiled and sat at the side. Tang Yinxian, Prime Minister Turtle, and the Imperial Star Princess sat beside him. Haha, you are a guest. We naturally have to entertain you well. The ruler of Tiger Luan waved his hand. Serve the dishes and wine. Who would have expected the Tiger Chaos Demon Empire to place so much importance on Wang Xian and his friends, to the point of inviting them to a private banquet? The Emperor's star maiden muttered in a low voice when she saw this scene. The chaotic tiger demon kingdom was considered a second-rate power. Such strength was already considered not bad. In the Imperial Star region, only a few of the more monstrous disciples had second-rate powers following them. The other disciples would at most have third-rate factions following them. However, she also knew that the Dragon Palace's current strength was already considered a second-rate force, and the potential of the Dragon Palace was even more terrifying. It was reasonable for the chaotic tiger demon kingdom to pay attention to him. The banquet began. Good wine, good dishes, singing and dancing began. These heavenly demon dancers were clearly different from human women. Their dancing styles were also unique. Wang Xian, Prime Minister Turtle, Lord Tiger Luan, and the Sky Demon Imperial Tutor conversed from time to time. The banquet was joyous and harmonious. Dragon King, I see that you have a peerless swordsman beside you. Can you let this brother spar with me? Hee. I see that the sword radiance of these brothers is extremely sharp. My true form is a saber-toothed tiger sky demon, and I devour swords as much as my life. After 3 rounds of drinks, the 2 generals of the Tiger Chaos Demon Kingdom, who were accompanying them, were itching to ask Wang Xian for help. Oh, a sword duel? Haha, good. Let's make friends through swords. Wang Xian looked at Roving Sword and nodded his head with a smile. General Sword, don't be rude. On the stage, the Tiger Luan country lord shouted at the old man with dissatisfaction. Monarch, my hands are itching. I can feel the sword radiance of my brothers, even though I'm sitting opposite you. The old man bowed slightly and smiled at the ruler of the Tiger Luan country. It's fine. Don't overdo it. Let's spar and prove our swordsmanship, said Wang Xian to Tiger Luan with a smile. That's good. Don't hurt our friendship. The ruler of the country of Tiger Luan pondered for a moment and nodded. He looked at Roving Sword and kindly reminded him. Brother, our sword general lives with the sword, and once obtained a great opportunity for swordsmanship. Please be careful. Thank you for reminding me, King Wan. My sword is the emotionless sword Dao. Ao Jian's palm moved, and a sharp sword appeared in his hand. Haha, good. Meeting friends with swords can also be considered livening up the atmosphere. The sword general happily jumped to the center. Roving Sword, you just need to give some pointers. Wang Xian transmitted his voice to Roving Sword. The space here is too small. Both of you come in and spar. With a wave of his arm, the 5 elements grindstone appeared in his hand. With a wave of his arm, a space suddenly appeared in the middle. Oh, now what? Array formation? Treasure? The ruler of Tiger Luan looked over in astonishment. A Magus artifact, said Wang Xian with a smile. Which? The king of the Tiger Luan country was slightly surprised, and he looked towards the center. When Roving Sword and the sword general stepped inside, they immediately realized that they had entered a huge space. This space was enough for them to display their abilities. I am Saber-Toothed Tiger. Brother, please guide me. The sword general cupped his hands, and a sword appeared in his hand as he spoke with a smile. Roving Sword, emotionless sword Dao, make your move first. Roving Sword smiled at him. All right, then I won't stand on ceremony. Sword General was very straightforward as he waved his arm. Clang! The sharp sword was unsheathed. Clang! On the opposite side, Roving Sword's palm shook, and the golden longsword in his hand was unsheathed instantly. On the opposite side, the sword of the Sword General trembled and let out a wail. Take this. He widened his eyes, which were filled with astonishment, and attacked with the longsword in his hand. Bam, 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 bam. Roving Sword stood there with one hand holding the sword, and the other at the back. He countered with countless moves. The laws were incomparably solid, and every collision caused the space to tremble slightly. Both of them should be at the same realm, but the Sword General is completely suppressed. The other party didn't even exert any strength. He stood there with his sword unmoving. The difference in strength is obvious. The ruler of Tiger Luan country was shocked to see both of them fighting in the middle of the array. Their general of Tiger Luan demon country couldn't resist at all. The gap is too huge. Dragon King, your subordinate swordsmanship is really terrifying. The Sky Demon Grand Tutor commented to Wang Xian with slight astonishment. Roving sword swordsmanship has yet to be matched. However, I know that the sword general is also considered an expert in swordsmanship. Ordinary swordsmen wouldn't dare to draw their swords before my subordinate, said Wang Xian with a smile. I've lost. A minute later, the sword general's longsword fell to the ground with a mournful wail. He was stunned, picked up the longsword in his hand, and walked out of the array in a daze. Your swordsmanship isn't bad either. You're the first to draw your sword before me. Roving sword cupped his fist at the sword general and said, I can feel the sword trembling in my hand when I hold my sword before you. The gap is too huge. The sword general shook his head bitterly. In terms of swordsmanship, my subordinate hasn't lost to anyone yet. You don't have to be so lonely, sword general. You can also spar with roving sword for a few more times over the next few days, said Wang Xian with a smile. Haha, great. In that case, brother roving sword, I might have to disturb you for the next few days. The sword general's eyes lit up as he spoke to roving sword with anticipation. You're most welcome. Both of us are sword fanatics, so let's spar and learn from each other. Roving sword nodded with a smile. Haha, great. Let me toast to you. Meeting friends through swordsmanship brought the atmosphere of the banquet to another level. The banquet lasted for 3 hours before it ended. Let me bring you to the palace where you can rest. The sword general volunteered to bring them to their accommodations. There are 5 to 6 5th Order Immortal King realm experts with the Dragon King. I can't sense one of them, but he should be stronger than me. The Tiger Luang Country King's eyes flickered as he watched Wang Xian and the rest leave. Over 50 people, only one girl is a divine lord. The rest are all Immortal King realm experts. The number of deity kings in this dragon palace is not lesser than ours. The Sky Demon Imperial Tutor also sighed. Not only that, there are 2 6th Order Immortal King realm experts among them. They aren't any weaker than us in the past. They seem to be not bad, and can be friends. At this time, a voice suddenly rang in their ears. The Sky Demon Imperial Tutor and the Tiger Luang Country King were taken aback and nodded silently. Looks like they want to be friends with us too. We can be allies. The Tiger Luang Country King said with a smile. The Sky Demon Imperial Tutor nodded. Inside the Demon God Palace, the Sword General brought them to a luxurious palace and arranged for them to stay. A meal can last for 3 hours. How boring. Inxian, let's go practice singing. It's your first time performing on stage in a few days. The Emperor Star Princess grumbled as she pulled Tang Inxian into a room. Chapter 25-20. Dragon King. From the looks of it, the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom is interested in befriending us, said Prime Minister Turtle to Wang Xian in the palace. What do you think of the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom? Asked Wang Xian. From the looks of the Imperial Preceptor, the King and the General, they are all straightforward people. They are worth befriending. Prime Minister Turtle said. Well, it doesn't seem to be a bad thing at the moment. Having a friend will make things a lot more convenient, especially since the chaotic Tiger Demon Empire has 20 million years of history here. Wang Xian nodded his head slightly. Uncle Dragon King, I heard from great-grandfather that you are here. Right at this moment, a voice suddenly sounded from outside. Wang Xian was slightly taken aback as he revealed a shocked expression. As he walked out, he saw a girl looking left and right with a smile on her face. Wang Xian recognized this girl. She was the one who came with the Sky Monster Grand Tutor previously. Her name was Tiger Lingya. Wang Xian even gave her a war pet. She even said that she would treat him to a meal after he came to the Tiger Chaos Demon Kingdom. Lady Lingya. Wang Xian shouted at her. TSK TSK, Wang Xian is really something. Girls can find him no matter where he goes. No wonder. At this moment, the Emperor Star Maiden and Tang Inxian also heard the commotion and walked out. The Emperor Star Maiden sized up the tiger spiritual sprout, glanced at Wang Xian and mocked. Tang Inxian, who was standing by the side, also looked at Wang Xian with an expression that asked for an explanation. These two beauties are your wife Dragon King? Tiger Lingya looked at Tang Inxian and the Emperor Star Maiden. The Emperor Star Maiden had changed her appearance. and no one could tell that she was the famous star goddess. I'm Yinchuan's best friend. Little girl, what brings you here? The Emperor Star Maiden said to the tiger spirit sprout. Tang Yinxian chuckled at her words. Oh, nice to meet you, sister-in-law. The Dragon King gave me a battle pet last time. He promised to show me around when he came to the chaotic tiger kingdom. I'll take you there. Your country is a human kingdom. It's very different from our chaotic tiger demon kingdom. Let me show you the local conditions and customs. Tiger Lingya said enthusiastically. She was so passionate that the Emperor Star Maiden didn't know what to say. We can take a look around. Tang Yinxian looked at Wang Xian and said, All right then. Miss Lingya, please show us around your planet. Wang Xian nodded at Yinxian and said, Okay. I'll take you to eat some local snacks and see the magnificent scenery here. The tiger spirit sprout nodded its head and enthusiastically brought them outside. Aosia followed Dragon King and the rest. Prime Minister Turtle said to Roving Crab. Roving Crab alone was equivalent to thousands of troops. After all, this was not the territory of the Dragon Palace. It was better to be careful. It's the Prime Minister. Roving Xia nodded his head and followed behind Wang Xian. I'll bring you to the Realm Heart Lake first, then to the Tiger Leaping Cliff, and then to Exian Spring. Our chaotic tiger demonic empire's planet is filled with many miracles, and none of them have been destroyed. I guarantee that you'll enjoy it so much that you'll forget to return. Clearly, Tiger Spiritualia was a very lively girl. She brought Wang Xian and the rest to the square of flying birds and beasts. The 5 of them rode on a bird and flew toward the Realm Heart Lake. Look, that's the Realm Heart Lake. Isn't it beautiful? The lake water is so clear that you can see the bottom. There are colorful stones and all kinds of fish in it. The Realm Heart Lake was a very beautiful lake. Under the sunlight, it emitted colorful rays, and all kinds of fish could be seen clearly. The entire lake was like a fairyland. It's indeed beautiful. Tang Yinxian and the Emperor Star Maiden looked at the lake with sparkling eyes. Let's go over. The fish in the Realm Heart Lake is one of the world's delicacies. Ordinary people won't be able to eat it. The group of people flew down from the bird beasts and headed towards a pavilion. Your Highness. Very soon, a woman walked over and shouted respectfully, I'll have a serving of your specialty fish. I want to entertain a friend. Tiger Spiritualia said, Yes, Your Highness. The lady replied immediately, Our fish meat is definitely different from the fish you've eaten before. Hee, you'll be swallowing your tongues later. Tiger Spiritualia lifted her head slightly and said, Are you exaggerating? The Emperor Star Maiden looked at her in disbelief. You'd better believe it. There are people from the central region who specially come to us to purchase this kind of fish. Tiger Spiritualia said immediately. Wang Xian looked around and felt that the scenery was great. Tiger Spiritualia was a lively girl to begin with. The Emperor Star Maiden used to think that she was rather cold, but now she felt that she was quite talkative. Tang Yinxian chimed in from time to time. The atmosphere was great. Soon the fish meat was served. The taste surprised the 2 girls. This fish is either preserved in a very expensive treasure or cooked within a minute. Otherwise, the taste will be lost. Even the great-grandfather of our country would have to come here if he wanted to eat it. Tiger Spiritualia said proudly when she saw the shock on the 2 girls' faces. It's delicious. The Emperor Star Maiden nodded. Spiritualia, you're here too? At this time, a voice suddenly sounded. Tiger Spiritualia, who was chatting with the Emperor Star Maiden, was taken aback. She turned around and looked behind her. Wang Xian also looked over and saw a total of 50 to 60 young men and women, as well as a few middle-aged men, walking over. A bunch of annoying guys. Tiger Spiritualia looked over, curled her lips and muttered softly. She completely ignored the group of people walking over. Little sister, you're so insensible. Your brothers are here. Why aren't you welcoming them? A young man with a tiger's tail teased Tiger Spiritualia. Don't even think about it. Tiger Spiritualia pouted and replied coldly. Hee lass. A few days ago, I wanted to betroth you to Brother Yi Chen, but you didn't agree. You cried, threw a tantrum, and even tried to hang yourself. Girls shouldn't behave like this in the future. Don't hang out with your friends in the future. Learn some manners in the God Palace. The young man said to Tiger Spiritualia. Tiger Spiritualia turned around and ignored him. Spiritualia, don't lose your manners in front of outsiders. The young man in the middle said plainly to Tiger Spiritualia. Got it, brother. Tiger Spiritualia replied reluctantly when she heard the voice. Everyone, let's take a seat at the side. A group of people sat at a spot not far away. Tiger Spiritualia, who are these people? Your brothers and sisters? The Emperor Star Maiden asked softly, as she looked at the group of people around her. She suddenly felt a deep sense of empathy. Tiger Spiritualia nodded. Her interest had clearly diminished. Spiritualia, you're really unlucky to be betrothed. Did you really cry, throw a tantrum, and hang yourself? The Emperor Star Maiden asked. Of course it's true. I'd rather die than agree to marry that scumbag. I almost died the last time. Great-grandfather made the decision for me after he knew about it. Tiger Spiritualia nodded her head heavily. Then you're really pitiful. Just hug the thigh of the Dragon King tightly in the future, and such things won't happen again. The Emperor Star Maiden said with a smile. Princess Flame, you should sit beside our brother. Haha, this isn't a good idea. Haha, good, very good. Given your talents, Princess Flame, you'd be a perfect match to sit with our brother. The ravishing Princess Flame of the Inferno Eternal Celestial Dynasty is indeed qualified. At this time, a conversation was heard from the side. It was loud and clear, and Wang Xian could hear it clearly. Wang Xian was taken aback when he heard this name. Chapter 25-21. Blaze Immortal God Dynasty. At the Mirror Heart Lake, Wang Xian, Yinxian Tigress, and the rest were seated. Tang Yinxian, the Emperor Star Maiden, and the others could hear it clearly. What a loud voice. Humph, isn't she just a small-time celebrity? Isn't she just a little more talented? Tiger Spirit Sprout didn't feel anything. He pursed his lips and muttered in a low voice. Emperor Star Maiden, Tang Yinxian, and Anting all looked at Wang Xian. Wang Xian nodded at them. Don't bother about it. This was the territory of the chaotic tiger demon country. No matter what, Wang Xian had to give them some face. However, he didn't know the relationship between the Raging Flames Divine Dynasty and the chaotic tiger demon kingdom. If their relationship was very good, they might not be friends anymore. The Emperor Star Maiden and the others also knew about the feud between the Flame Immortal Godly Dynasty and the Dragon Palace, so they nodded slightly. Come on, let's continue eating. Tiger Lingya squeezed out a smile and spoke to Wang Xian and the rest. Flame Princess, I heard that something happened to your Flame Immortal Dynasty recently, and you're asking for help everywhere. Do you need any help? A prince of the Tiger Chaos Demon Kingdom asked Princess Lian and the other members of the Lian Divine Dynasty. 13th Prince, our Divine Dynasty has nothing to hide. We have indeed encountered some difficulties. Princess Flame said with a smile. Oh, what is it? The young man sitting beside the Princess of Flames raised his eyebrows and asked. We've offended a power opposite the Lorman Desolate Beast Garden. They have at least 5 to 6 5th Order Immortal God King Realm experts. Even though we're not afraid of them, if they come looking for trouble with us, we'll suffer heavy losses. The Flame Princess replied honestly. Opposite the Lorman Desolate Beast Garden? What is that place? A girl beside her asked curiously. It's the edge of the South Star system. It should be near the battlefield of Emperor's Fall. A remote place. A prince said. Yes. The Princess of Flame nodded. How could such a powerful force exist in such a remote place? The young man sitting beside the Princess of Flame said in astonishment. We don't know where they came from. At first, they wanted to destroy one of our allies there, the Iron Blood Alliance. We sent people to help them resist. Later on, the enemy was too strong, and our allies were killed. They also bore a grudge against us, and said that they would destroy us. We had no choice but to prepare for a rainy day. The Flame Princess had a bitter look on her face. How strong are they exactly? What's it called? The young man sitting next to her raised his eyebrows and asked. There seems to be quite a number of God King Realm experts. There are at least 5 5th Order God King Realm experts, and there are no 6th Order God King Realm experts. It's called the Dragon Palace. They seem to have already conquered that area. The Princess of Flames said. The strongest among them is a 5th Order God King realm expert. Not bad, but that's all there is to it. With this level of strength, they can only proclaim themselves as kings in some remote corner. When they come to us, they can only hide like turtles. Haha, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. When the young man at the side heard this, he let out a hearty laugh. Hee, Flame Princess, you really don't have to worry about such a small matter. If you can work with our big brother. Hee, the small dragon palace is just a remote corner force. They might even apologize to you personally in the future. One of the princes raised his eyebrows at the Flame Princess and teased. Hee, I'm not selling my body for glory. The Dragon Palace doesn't have the ability to destroy us yet. They are just a threat to us. The Flame Princess covered her mouth and laughed. 5th brother, don't you know what kind of person the Flame Princess is? We have known each other for more than 10 years. Flame Princess, if you need any help in this matter in the future, just look for me directly. That's right, just look for our big brother. Our big brother is the crown prince of our generation. Once our big brother shows up, he will be able to show off the Dragon Palace. The group of them laughed and chatted. In that case, I'll have to thank Big Brother Tiger for helping me eradicate the evil. The Flame Princess squinted her eyes and bowed to the young man beside her. This filled the young man with pride. At this time Tiger Lingya, who was sitting at the side, widened her eyes and her mouth. The food that she had picked up froze on the spot. Wang Xian had also heard their conversation. His lips curved into a smile, and his eyes gleamed coldly. He stood up slowly and walked towards the Flame Princess. Long. She opened her mouth and wanted to say something. However, she stood up helplessly and glared at the crowd beside her. Roving Crab, Yin Xian, and the rest followed her immediately. As Wang Xian walked towards them, some of them noticed him and looked over in confusion. What's the matter? A prince looked at Wang Xian and asked plainly. Wang Xian didn't reply. He walked to the Flame Princess and placed his palm on her shoulder. Everyone was shocked when they saw this. The Flame Princess also frowned, and flames were emitting from her shoulder. Bam! Young lady, watch your words. You will pay the price. Wang Xian's palm landed heavily on her shoulder. Arg! A painful scream came from her mouth, and her face was instantly filled with cold sweat. Stop it! Let go of our princess. A middle-aged man beside her was shocked. He stood up immediately with a sharp sword in his hand. Bam! Before he could make a move, Roving Crab swung his arm. The middle-aged man's body started to crack. His eyes widened and his face was filled with horror. Who are you? The Flame Princess asked Wang Xian softly with a pale face. Who are you? Do you know what territory you are in? Are you courting death? The young man beside her, the current crown prince of the chaotic tiger demon kingdom, stood up coldly and stared at Wang Xian with murderous intent. Don't you know who I am? I am the Dragon Palace that you mentioned. You can call me the Dragon King. Wang Xian said coldly. His murderous intent made the Flame Princess tremble. A crown prince is qualified to interfere in the affairs of the experts. Go back and ask your parents if they dare to do so. Wang Xian lifted his head, looked at the crown prince of the chaotic tiger demon kingdom, and spoke with disdain. If he wasn't the crown prince of the chaotic tiger demon kingdom, he would have to pay the price for what he said. You, Dragon King of the Dragon Palace, is just a force from a remote place. This is our chaotic tiger demon kingdom. How dare you be so arrogant in our territory? You! The young crown prince's expression changed when he heard him. He pointed at Wang Xian with a sullen face. Bam! I'll teach you a lesson on behalf of your parents. Wang Xian swung his arm, and a surge of energy landed on his arm, following which his arm disintegrated immediately. Chapter 25-22, Bam! The crown prince of the chaotic tiger demon kingdom was sent flying. His face was pale as he stared at Wang Xian with widened eyes. His body landed heavily on the ground. One of his arms was gone and his body was trembling. You! How dare you? What are you trying to do? Do you know where this place is? The rest of the young men were taken aback by Wang Xian's attack. One by one, They stood up and shouted with an awful look. They were the supreme talents of the current generation of the chaotic tiger demon kingdom. It could be said that they were the most powerful generation in the chaotic tiger demon kingdom. No one dared to bully them in the chaotic tiger demon kingdom. Tiger Lingya, these are your men. You. The crown prince of the chaotic tiger demon kingdom clutched his wound and looked at Tiger Lingya with bloodshot eyes. Who asked you to speak ill of the dragon palace behind their backs? They have many immortal god kings and they are guests. You. Tiger Lingya panicked at the sight of this. Dragon King. She quickly walked to Wang Xian's side and whispered to him. She looked at him with a pleading look. Seeing that you are the disciples of the chaotic tiger demon kingdom, and this is the territory of the chaotic tiger demon kingdom, I'll spare you this once. As Wang Xian spoke, he looked at all of them coldly. Humph. He snorted and a large amount of blood flowed from the mouth of the Princess of Flame in front of him. Pfft. After spitting out the blood, she opened her mouth and wanted to say something. However, she held back her words. At this moment, she really wanted to provoke the Dragon King. Once he made a move, the chaotic tiger demon kingdom would not let him off. However, she was afraid that he would really kill her. Dragon King, let's go to another place. Another place? Tiger Lingya said to Wang Xian in a panic. She was really afraid that the Dragon King would have a conflict with her brothers. If that happened, she would not be able to bear the consequences. Okay. Wang Xian nodded slightly and looked at Roving Crab. Inform Prime Minister Turtle and the rest to get ready to annihilate the Flame Immortal Dynasty. He didn't even try to hide his words as he walked straight ahead. Alright. Little sister Lingya, bring us to another place to play. Tang Yinxian walked over to ease Tiger Lingya's embarrassment. Okay. Tiger Lingya squeezed out a smile. It's fine, don't worry. Wang Xian patted the girl's shoulder and said with a smile. Putting aside the fact that the chaotic tiger demon kingdom would not be biased towards their disciples and the divine dynasty of flames, they would definitely not be enemies with the dragon palace. Because of such a small matter, it was not worth it. Let's go, said Wang Xian with a smile. Alright. Hearing his words, Tiger Spirit Sprout's nervous expression eased a little. She looked at her brother and pouted. Then, she brought Wang Xian and the rest to another place to play. This Dragon King is too arrogant. Seeing Wang Xian and the rest leaving, the group of young men from the chaotic tiger demon kingdom, who were at the back, looked extremely embarrassed. One of the princes walked over to help the crown prince up with a gloomy face. What a dragon palace! What a dragon king! Do they really think they are in their own territory? Bam! A guy from a remote place actually dares to be so arrogant here. Even a strong dragon can't suppress a local snake. You're just a frog at the bottom of a well. And you actually dare to cause trouble in our chaotic tiger demon kingdom. The crown prince's face turned ashen as he slammed the table with his newly grown arm. Someone go and send. Big brother. Is it the dynasty founding celebration now or? The young crown prince wanted to send someone, but was stopped by a prince who whispered to him. He dares to lay a hand on me here. That means he has no respect for our chaotic tiger demon kingdom. The crown prince of the chaotic tiger demon kingdom grimaced and clenched his fist tightly. After the celebration, I'll let him know the price of offending me. Big brother Tiger, it's all my fault this time. I've implicated you guys. At this time, Princess Flame walked over and spoke meekly as she wiped the blood from the corner of her mouth. Don't worry, Sister Flame. I'll settle this. The crown prince looked at her with a heartache. He took out an elixir pill and passed it to her. Thank you, Big Brother Tiger. Princess Flame revealed a smile as her eyes sparkled. Dragon King, I'm really sorry. My brother and the rest didn't mean any harm. They must have been seduced by that woman. Tiger Spirit Sprout said apologetically to Wang Xian as she brought him to the next place to play. It's all right. Wang Xian shook his head and didn't take it to heart. Don't feel guilty. Let's just enjoy ourselves. Emperor Star Maiden consoled him. All right, let's go to Tiger Leaping Cliff. Tiger Spirit Sprout nodded her head heavily. Next, Wang Xianyin, Emperor Star Maiden, and the rest toured the scenery of the chaotic tiger demon kingdom. Just like what Tiger Spirit Sprout had said, There were indeed many fun places in the chaotic tiger demon kingdom. The group spent more than 10 hours and spent the night in Xinxiuan. They only rushed back the next morning. This was because the 20-million-year celebration of the chaotic tiger demon kingdom was about to begin. Goodbye, Big Brother Dragon King. Goodbye, sisters. Let's have fun together when we have time. Back in the Demon God Palace, Tiger Spirit Sprout sent Wang Xian and the rest back to their living quarters. She waved her hand and returned to her living quarters. Spirit Sprout is really lively, Tang Yinxian said with a smile. Wang Xian nodded his head. Dragon King, let's get ready to enter. At this time, Prime Minister Turtle walked over and said to Wang Xian. Wang Xian nodded his head. Is the Flame God Dynasty ready? I've sent Roving Demon and the rest to investigate. Once they're done, we can strike. Prime Minister Turtle said. All right. Wang Xian nodded his head and walked straight to the entrance of the Demon God Palace. The 20-million-year celebration of the chaotic tiger demon kingdom would be held at the entrance of the Demon God Palace. The venue had already been set up in front of the huge canyon. In front of them, there were many empty spaces. There were many raised positions, but there were no seats. This was the unique feature of the chaotic tiger demon kingdom. Those invited could only stand and not have seats. However, with the strength of those invited, it was the same whether they were sitting or standing. Dragon King, this way please. Wang Xian led the group of experts from the Dragon Palace out of the Demon God Palace. The guards led them to the raised open spaces in front of them. The area that rose up was about 5 kilometers in radius. The guards of the Demon God Palace led them to the 4th position on the right. It was a relatively closer position. Wang Xian and the rest flew over and scanned the surroundings. At the entrance, various forces were flying towards the raised platforms. These were all famous forces in the South Star Galaxy. The weakest of them was at least a 4th-rated force. In the middle of the left and right sides, the width of the road was about 5 kilometers. The soldiers of the chaotic tiger demon kingdom lined up neatly below and exuded an imposing aura. The entire hall was filled with majestic aura. Chapter 25-23. The chaotic tiger demon kingdom is holding a grand celebration this time. They've invited many powerful forces. The chaotic tiger demon kingdom has been around for more than 20 million years. With the addition of the powerful sky demons, they are already one of the top 10 forces in our region. It's normal for them to come. Maybe all of them are here except for 2 or 3 forces. In front of the chaotic tiger demon kingdom's Demon God Palace, the forces arrived one by one and stood on the 2 platforms on the left and right. They looked around and discussed in low voices. Around them, there were also forces riding on powerful battle pets and flying ships. All of them stood on the platforms. The chaotic tiger demon kingdom was one of the top 10 forces in the South Star Galaxy. Most forces would show respect to their invitation. This caused the high platforms to be filled with people. There are already 40 to 50 forces here. None of them are weaker than the Dongli Immortal Celestial Dynasty. Wang Xian looked around and analyzed the strength of the forces in the center of the South Star Galaxy. The center of the South Star Galaxy is similar to where we are. Sects, celestial dynasties, organizations, and many forces here are not weaker than us. Prime Minister Turtle whispered to him. Wang Xian nodded his head slightly. More and more forces arrived on the platforms. Some of them made tables and chairs with energy and sat down. They smiled and chatted as they waited. Those who dared to watch the battle were not weak. They were all 6th Order Immortal King Realm experts. As for those who were weaker than the chaotic tiger demon kingdom, they did not dare to let their guard down. Soon, there were 70 to 80 forces standing on the platforms. Wang Xian looked at the time. It was almost noon. Ka. At this moment, the gate of the Demon God Palace opened slowly. The gate was at least 3,000 meters wide. Roars of tigers could be heard coming from the gate. Roar. Inside, 2 4th Order Undying God King blood-winged horses pulled a palanquin out. An old man and a middle-aged man stood on the sedan. The old man had a tiger-headed saber in front of him. while the middle-aged man held a tiger-headed scepter in his hand. The experts of the Chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom have come out. It's the Chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom's king, an imperial preceptor. The two blood-winged horses at the front are 4th Order Undying God King battle pets. The Chaotic Tiger Beast Empire actually managed to get their hands on 2 4th Order Undying God King battle pets. The doors of the Fey God Palace opened. Undying God King battle pets were pulling the carriage, causing many powers to reveal looks of awe. Walala! Behind the beast-drawn carriages, the generals and experts of the Chaotic Tiger Demonic Kingdom followed closely behind, their bodies emitting powerful auras. They slowly walked forward, and finally stopped in front of them. 150 Undying God Kings have appeared. Wang Xian swept his gaze across and mumbled to himself. As soon as he finished speaking, 2 more roars rang out from behind him. 2 old men stood behind the 2 Undying God King battle pets, overlooking the entire plaza. That's 2 6th Order Immortal King Realm experts from the Chaotic Tiger Demon Empire. The Chaotic Tiger Demon Empire seems to have 3 6th Order Immortal King Realm experts and 2 4th Order Undying God King battle pets. How did the Chaotic Tiger Demon Empire manage to get their hands on so many powerful battle pets? Some of the people saw the 2 Chaotic Tiger Demon Empire experts surveying the area, and their hearts skipped a beat. Even some of the people sitting on the high platform were looking at the 2 figures with solemn expressions. Chirp, chirp, chirp. That was not the end of it. Very quickly, heavenly beasts and demonic birds flew out from the Fey God Palace. Roar, roar, roar. Following that, heavenly beasts and demonic tigers came roaring out. The main purpose of holding the dynasty founding ceremony was to display one's strength and awe the other forces. The powerful demonic bird army and demonic tiger army, each of them was no weaker than an eternal God Lord. There are more than 600,000 eternal God Lord experts. Prime Minister Turtle said faintly. Wang Xian nodded. Haha, it's starting so soon. Apologies, our Monster Slayer sect is a little late. At this moment, a sudden laughter was heard. Following that, several figures flew over on their swords. They flew on their swords exuding a sharp aura. They did not care what kind of occasion they were in. TSK, Lord Hulwan, your monster kingdom is stronger than before. The leading old man lifted his head and looked at the old man standing on the 4th Order Undying God King battle pets. He smirked as he spoke. Today is the founding ceremony of the Chaotic Tiger Demon Empire. Everyone from the Monster Slayer sect, please be quiet. Lord Hulwan stared at the group of people and said coldly, Haha, apologies. You invited us here, of course, we have to respect you. But we are a little late. Apologies, haha. The old man laughed loudly and led the 500 to 600 people behind him towards an empty high platform in front of him. The Monster Slayer sect is here. The Chaotic Tiger Demon Empire and the Monster Slayer sect have been enemies for 10 million years. The 2 forces have always been enemies, and it's a situation where only one side can survive. But the Chaotic Tiger Demon Empire invited the Monster Slayer sect here. Everyone's expression changed when they saw the experts from the Monster Slayer sect arrive. The Monster Slayer sect and the Chaotic Tiger Demon Empire had been enemies for 10 million years. The 2 forces were about the same, and they fought each other endlessly. Hehe. On top of the 2 4th Order Undying God King battle pets, the Lord exchanged glances with another old man. Their eyes were filled with coldness. We welcome everyone to our Chaotic Tiger Demon Empire's founding ceremony for 20 million years. From now on, everyone can just wait and see. The Lord of the Chaotic Tiger Demon Empire stood on his beast carriage and glared at the people from the Monster Slayer sect. Jiang, children of the Chaotic Tiger Demon Empire, show everyone our strength. He waved his arm and raised the tiger head saber in front of him. Yes, Tiger King. Ha! All the soldiers of the Chaotic Tiger Demon Empire shouted and began to practice their formation. Show off your muscles. The celebration of the Chaotic Tiger Demon Empire was much more violent. Let's see how they play like monkeys. Over at the Monster Slayer sect, the experts from the Monster Slayer sect grinned and looked down. All the forces were watching. Big brother, the forces from the Dragon Palace are over there. At this time, at the front behind the beast carriage, the core experts and disciples of the chaotic tiger demon empire stood there. On the right, a prince whispered to the crown prince beside him. "Umph." The crown prince looked over, and his eyes turned dark. Then he looked at the tiger spirit sprout. The tiger spirit sprout felt his gaze and shrunk back in fear. Chapter 25-24. Father, those people on the platform are from the Dragon Palace. That young man is the Dragon King. At this time, Princess Lai Yen spotted a familiar figure on a platform at the back, and whispered to the middle-aged man beside her. "Huh, Dragon Palace." The middle-aged man was taken aback and looked embarrassed. He followed his daughter's gaze, and his expression changed. The middle-aged man walked to the side, and whispered to an old man, who was holding a flame pearl in his hand. The old man looked at the platform of the Dragon Palace with his eyes flickering. He was a little embarrassed. "The Dragon King said he wants to annihilate us." The old man waved at Princess Lai Yen, and asked in a deep voice. "It's my great-grandfather. He said it yesterday afternoon. He even injured me." Princess Lai Yen said with a pale face. "How are you and the crown prince of the chaotic tiger demon kingdom?" The old man asked with a gloomy face. "Great-grandfather, he treats me well. There shouldn't be a problem." Princess Lai Yen bit her lips and said, "All right, listen to my arrangements later." The old man said. Princess Lai Yen nodded her head in resignation. "Dragon King, I sense some gazes. That group of people should be experts from the fiery dynasty." On the platform where Wang Xian and the rest were, Aoxia transmitted his voice to him. "Yeah, I sensed it." Wang Xian nodded. They were not familiar with the people from the fiery dynasty. He did not realize they were from the fiery dynasty just now. However, the Dragon Palace did not have to worry about the fiery dynasty anymore. There were 30 to 45th Order Immortal King experts in the Dragon Palace, while the fiery dynasty only had 3. Crushing everyone from the Monster Slayer sect. How are the men from our chaotic tiger demon kingdom? After 10 minutes of practice, the soldiers from the chaotic tiger demon kingdom stopped. The ruler, who was standing at the front, asked the Monster Slayer sect with a smile. "Ha ha ha, you want us to evaluate? They should taste good." An expert from the Monster Slayer sect was taken aback when he heard the Monster Slayer sect's ruler. "Huh? Why did the ruler ask the Monster Slayer sect? They are already fighting to the death. Asking them is just asking for humiliation." The strength of the chaotic tiger monstrous empire is very powerful. They are much more powerful than before. However, they are still too straightforward. Asking the monstrous beheading sect is clearly asking for humiliation. When the people from the surrounding forces saw this scene, they discussed in low voices in doubt. "Courting death. Monster Slayer sect, do you want to die? I'll tear you to pieces." Some irascible heavenly demons couldn't help but roar at them. This caused the entire ceremony to become slightly restless. "Ha ha ha, you are still so hot-tempered and idiotic." When the Monster Slayer sect master heard the roars, he revealed an even prouder smile and mocked them. "Silence!" The Tiger Luan country lord roared, his voice resounding in the ears of every heavenly demon. The enraged heavenly demons immediately stopped. However, they continued to stare at the demon-slaying sect with bloodthirsty eyes. "Monster Slayer sect, this is our chaotic tiger demon kingdom's 20 million year founding ceremony." The heavenly demon imperial preceptor looked at the demon-slaying sect and said coldly, "Haha, good. Although we've been enemies for thousands of years, I'll give you face today." The expert leading the Monster Slayer sect laughed heartily. "Everyone, please don't panic and continue to watch the show." The Tiger Luan country lord swept his gaze across them and looked at the surrounding forces as he spoke calmly. "Let's begin, Tiger Luan country lord. We can't wait to watch the monkey show." As soon as the Tiger Luan country lord finished speaking, a young man from the Monster Slayer sect smirked and spoke proudly. The rest of the forces didn't dare to speak when they saw the two forces fighting. They just watched quietly. In their opinion, inviting the Monster Slayer sect today was the Tiger Luan country's biggest mistake. The Tiger Luan country was too reckless and naive. Hee hee. Fight! The Tiger Luan country lord laughed sinisterly. He raised the tiger-headed broadsword in his hand and roared with murderous intent. Fight! The heavenly demon imperial tutor also raised the divine staff in his hand and shouted, Buzz! Buzz! Just as everyone was feeling puzzled, confinement circles suddenly appeared on the mountains surrounding the Monster Slayer sect. The confinement circles enveloped all of them. Tiger Luan country, are you looking for death? The sudden appearance of the confinement circles shocked everyone from the Monster Slayer sect. The old man leading the group stood up immediately and unleashed a violent aura. The tyrannical aura surged in all directions. The surrounding forces were shocked when they saw this. What is the Tiger Luan country trying to do? Even some of the stronger forces were shocked when they saw this. Ha ha ha, don't worry everyone. Watch the show. Our Tiger Luan country and the Monster Slayer sect have been fighting for millions of years. During the celebration of our Tiger Luan country's 20 million year founding, we will declare war on the Monster Slayer sect. Destroy the Monster Slayer sect. The Tiger Luan country lord raised the tiger-headed broadsword in his hand and announced proudly, Boom! As soon as the Tiger Luan country lord finished speaking, a terrifying demonic aura surged into the sky. From the depths of the demon god palace, a totem of the tiger god soared into the sky. Roar! 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 An old man stood at the mouth of the totem of the tiger god. Everyone only saw a flash and the figure of an old man appeared in the center. The old man's eyes shone brightly, and he had a long fox tail. His arms had turned into tiger paws. He stared coldly at the people from the Monster Slayer sect. Today is the Tiger Luan country celebration. We will kill the experts from the Monster Slayer sect to help our country prosper. The old man shouted softly, as if he was announcing to all the forces present. This is. At this moment, everyone who was sitting on the high platform suddenly stood up. Their faces filled with shock as they stared at the old man in the totem of the tiger god. It's the old Imperial Preceptor. He suddenly broke through to the 7th Order Immortal King realm. Hiss! The old Imperial Preceptor of the Tiger Luan country actually broke through. Exclamations of shock could be heard, and the experts from the various forces widened their eyes in shock. Shit! At this time, the few hundred people from the Monster Slayer sect were shocked, and their eyes narrowed. Old man, 7th Order Immortal King realm, how is this possible? How did you break through so quickly? The only old man from the Monster Slayer sect, who was not trapped by the restrictive circle, shouted in disbelief. The Monster Slayer sect and the Tiger Luan country had fought for millions of years, and they both had 3 6th Order Immortal King realm experts. However, the old Imperial Preceptor suddenly broke through. The balance had been broken. Die! The old Imperial Preceptor's face was filled with killing intent, and with a wave of his hand, a totem of the tiger god formed behind him. The totem of the tiger god was shrouded in laws, and he attacked the people from the Monster Slayer sect. No. Among the few hundred experts from the Monster Slayer sect, there were 20 to 30 Immortal King realm experts, but they were all trapped by the restrictive circle and could not escape. The 6th Order Immortal King realm expert from the Monster Slayer sect could only dodge the terrifying attack. No. His body trembled, and he teleported 10,000 meters away, and he roared in grief and indignation. Chapter 25-25. Boom boom boom! In front of the Demon God Palace, the terrifying Tiger God totem landed on the stage where the Demon Slayer sect was located. The leading Monster Slayer sect expert dodged to the side with a mournful expression. As for the others, they weren't able to dodge this attack. A few hundred experts and 20 to 30 Undying God Kings were unable to escape from the confinement. No no no! Cries of agony rang through the air. When the Tiger God totem landed, none of the few hundred experts managed to escape. The terrifying attack caused them to let out cries of agony as they fell to the ground, lifeless. Chaotic Tiger Demon Empire, my Demon Slayer sect will not coexist with you. An angry roar came from the Demon Slayer sect expert who dodged the attack. His eyes were bloodshot as he stared at the corpses of his sect's experts. Ha ha ha, useless roar. Our two forces have been fighting for millions of years. This situation will end soon. Go back and tell your old ancestor to prepare to see your sect destroyed. The old imperial preceptor looked at the experts from the Demon Slayer sect and laughed mockingly. When he broke through to the Seventh Order Undying God King realm, the balance was broken. In the future, under his slaughter, the entire Demon Slayer sect would become stray dogs. He laughed heartily, his eyes filled with excitement. After millions of years of fighting, many disciples of the chaotic Tiger Demon Empire died in the hands of the other party. This situation was resolved very quickly. Who? The old man from the Demon Slayer sect who was floating in the air trembled. He gritted his teeth and disappeared. Congratulations, old ancestor, for breaking through to the Seventh Order Undying God King realm. When the people from the chaotic Tiger Demon Empire saw this scene, their faces lit up with excitement. They had not received any news of the old imperial preceptor's breakthrough. Today, during the ceremony of establishing their empire, the old imperial preceptor had killed a group of experts from the Demon Slayer sect. This was the greatest fortune of their chaotic Tiger Demon Empire. Congratulations, old ancestor, for breaking through to the Demon Slayer sect. The experts and disciples of the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom all knelt down with excited expressions and roared loudly. Their faces were filled with excitement. In the entire Southwest Galaxy, a Seventh Order Undying God King realm expert was already at the top. The old imperial tutor had broken through to the Seventh Order Undying God King realm, leading the chaotic Tiger Demon Empire to become one of the strongest forces in the South Star Galaxy. Congratulations to the chaotic Tiger Kingdom's old imperial advisor for breaking through. The eyes of the other forces were still filled with shock. They hurriedly stood up and cupped their fists in celebration. The birth of a Seventh Order Undying God King was enough to change the entire situation. Ha ha ha, today, let's celebrate the founding of the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom for 20 million years. Let's celebrate the old imperial advisor. The king of the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom raised his tiger-headed broadsword with a face full of excitement. Congratulations to the old state preceptor. All the soldiers of the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom roared. Congratulations to the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom. The Netherworld Manor has sent their gifts. Congratulations to the chaotic Tiger Demonic Kingdom. The Jianhua Corporation has sent a congratulatory gift. Congratulations to the chaotic Tiger Beast Kingdom. The Thousand Blade Immortal Dynasty has sent a gift. After the congratulatory voices ended, the various forces on the surrounding high platforms presented their congratulatory gifts. Haha, thank you everyone. The Tiger Luan country's ruler looked at the respectful expressions on the faces of the various forces, and a carefree expression appeared on his face. With the old imperial preceptor's advancement to the Seventh Order Undying God King realm, the chaotic Tiger Demon Empire would rise above all the forces here. These forces would have to bow their heads in front of the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom. This old state preceptor of the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom has actually broken through. The chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom will be ranked in the top 5 in our region. In the Flaming Divine Dynasty's camp, the Flaming Divine Emperor's eyes sparkled when he saw this sudden change. Little Flame, are you sure that the current crown prince of the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom likes you? The Lion Divine Emperor looked at the Princess of Flame beside him and spoke with a sharp glint in his eyes. Old ancestor, I'm 90% sure. The Flame Princess nodded confidently. Very well. I will betroth you to the current crown prince of the chaotic Tiger Demonic Kingdom. Once he agrees, we will be able to establish a relationship with the chaotic Tiger Demonic Kingdom in front of all the forces. This will be of great benefit to the fiery immortal dynasty. The Inferno Divine Emperor's eyes shone with a blazing luster. He did not expect the chaotic Tiger Demon Empire to have an expert who had broken through to the Seventh Order Immortal God King realm. Once they relied on the Tiger Chaos Demon Kingdom, why would the fiery Divine Dynasty be afraid of the Dragon Palace? Why should he be afraid of the Dragon King? At that time, their status in the South Star Galaxy would also increase greatly. Alright. The Flame Princess nodded and looked in the direction of the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom's disciples. Let's go, let's present our gift. With a smile on his face, the fiery divine emperor moved and led the group of people to fly forward. Congratulations to the chaotic tiger demon kingdom. The fiery immortal dynasty has sent their gift. The flaming divine emperor cupped his fists respectfully and bowed to the ruler of the chaotic tiger demon kingdom. Behind him, the group of people from the fiery divine dynasty held their gifts in their hands. Many thanks. The ruler of the chaotic tiger demon kingdom nodded. Ruler of the chaotic tiger demon kingdom, our fiery immortal dynasty has a special gift. The flaming divine emperor's lips curved into a smile. The group of people did not leave. Oh, the ruler of the chaotic tiger demon kingdom raised an eyebrow and looked at them with a smile. This old man has a great-granddaughter who is talented and has some fame in the South Star Galaxy. I heard that my daughter is in love with the current crown prince of the chaotic tiger demon kingdom. Today, my fiery immortal dynasty will betroth my daughter to the crown prince of the chaotic tiger demon kingdom. The flaming divine emperor raised his hand and bowed to the flame princess. Ha! The ruler of the chaotic tiger demon kingdom raised an eyebrow and looked over. Great-grandfather, I have been longing for the flame princess for a long time. Please grant our wish. When the crown prince of the tiger chaos demon kingdom saw this, his face lit up with excitement. He hurriedly walked out and shouted, Great-grandfather, the flame princess is talented and famous in the South Star Galaxy. She will be a perfect match for my eldest brother. The princes at the side raised their fists at the young crown prince and said with a smile, Hee, that's good too. Even better. When the ruler of the chaotic tiger demon kingdom saw his disciples coming over to request, he was already in a good mood. He waved his hand and said plainly, Thank you, Grandpa. The young crown prince's face lit up with excitement as he glanced at the flame princess. Brother Tiger. The flame princess also called out softly, It's our honor to marry the daughter of the fiery immortal dynasty crown prince. The flaming divine emperor said to the young crown prince excitedly with a fawning look on his face, It's my honor. It's my honor. The young crown prince also nodded excitedly. Haha. On the stage, the ruler of the chaotic tiger demon kingdom and the experts of the chaotic tiger demon kingdom smiled when they saw this. Today the chaotic tiger demon kingdom was even happier. Great-grandfather, I have a presumptuous request. I hope you can agree to it. Suddenly, the crown prince looked at the ruler of the chaotic tiger demon kingdom and said respectfully, Speak. The ruler of the chaotic tiger demon kingdom said happily, Great-grandfather, please destroy the dragon palace. Chapter 25-26. Great-grandfather, please destroy the dragon palace. The dragon palace, a remote force in the South Star Galaxy, is brutal and tyrannical. Not only did they destroy the ally of the Blaze Divine Dynasty, but they also want to destroy the Blaze Divine Dynasty now. Yesterday, I ran into the Dragon Palace's Dragon King with a group of brothers. He cut off one of my arms and severely injured Princess Lai Yen. He attacked us in the chaotic tiger demon kingdom and did not put us in his eyes. A force with only 4 to 5 fifth order immortal god king realm experts dares to act so arrogantly in our territory. I beg grandfather to destroy the Dragon Palace. The crown prince of the Tiger Luan Demon Kingdom said coldly to the king of the Tiger Luan country, Great-grandfather, they're right there. In the end, he pointed at the platform where the Dragon Palace was located. If the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom was still the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom of the past, he would never dare to ask the Grand Ancestor to destroy a force, even if it was a force from a remote place. But things were different now. With the birth of a 7th Order God King Realm Immortal King Realm expert, their chaotic tiger demonic empire had become one of the peak powers in this region. Dealing with a force that only had 4 to 5 5th Order Immortal King Realm experts was a piece of cake. In addition, the old ancestor and the others were in a good mood, so he dared to bring it up. His words caused the Princess of Flames and the Emperor of Flames to be extremely excited. They looked ferociously at the high platform of the Dragon Palace, and their faces were filled with awe and excitement. What's going on? Which force dares to injure a disciple of the chaotic tiger demon kingdom here? Dragon Palace? What kind of force is this? Why haven't I heard of it before? It should be a small force in a remote place. This force is probably going to be unlucky. The Raging Flames Divine Dynasty has finally found a backer. Now even their opponent, the Chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom, might help them get rid of it. When the surrounding forces saw this, their faces were filled with astonishment. They looked at the people of the Fiery Divine Dynasty enviously. Since the Chaotic Tiger Monstrous Kingdom dared to kill the experts of the monster-slaying sect, it would be a piece of cake for them to destroy a small faction. However, as soon as he said this, Country Ruler Luan's face changed. Every word he said made Country Ruler Luan's face darken. The Sky Demon Imperial Preceptor frowned and looked at the Crown Prince of the Chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom with a cold expression. Seeing her elder brother make such a request, Tiger Lingya's expression changed. Her expression stiffened as she looked at the high platform of the Dragon Palace. Dragon King. At this moment, the group of experts from Dragon Palace heard the words of the Crown Prince of the Chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom. Their faces turned cold, and they gathered behind Wuxia, exuding a murderous aura. Country Lord Hu Luan, nearly a year ago, the Raging Flames Divine Dynasty wanted to kill me. I must destroy them. Wuxia looked at the King of Tiger Luan and spoke without any expression. Preposterous! How dare you be so arrogant here? Dragon King you. Shut up. The Crown Prince of the Chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom immediately looked in Wuxia's direction, pointed at him, and bellowed. But before he could finish his words, an ice-cold voice exploded in his mind. His expression changed drastically. He tasted something sweet in his mouth, and a stream of blood slowly flowed out. His eyes widened, and his face was filled with shock. I'm sorry, Dragon King. We really didn't know that the Flame Immortal Celestial Dynasty had a feud with your Dragon Palace. Although we haven't known each other for long, we are still friends. The matter between the current Crown Prince of the Chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom and the Princess of the Raging Flames Divine Dynasty, let it go. Also, if the Dragon King needs anything, you can tell us directly to avoid any misunderstandings. The King of Tiger Luan looked at Wuxia, cupped his fist and said apologetically. He had not expected such a thing to happen today. He had not expected his own disciple to be so reckless. Even if they did not know much about the Dragon Palace, they knew that it was not a small force with 4 or 5 fifth-order Immortal King Realm experts. Just based on what they knew, there were 2 of them. This strength was similar to the Chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom in the past. Even if the Dragon Palace had nothing to do with them, they would not offend them, let alone destroy them. Now that the war with the Demon Slayer sect was about to begin, it would be unwise to offend other powerful forces. The words of the Chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom shocked the surrounding forces. Everyone from the Raging Flames Divine Dynasty was stunned by the words of the King of Tiger Luan. They opened their mouths slightly and looked on in astonishment. The Chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom was acquainted with the Dragon Palace? And from the looks of it, the Chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom valued the Dragon Palace very much. The Chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom and the Dragon Palace are friends. Those who bewitch our disciples should be executed. At this time, the sword general beside the King of Tiger Luan had a cold expression on his face. A sharp sword was unsheathed and slashed at the Princess of Flame. Shit. The Inferno Divine Emperor was horrified and hurriedly retreated. No. Old ancestor, father, save me. The Princess of Flame screamed in horror as she felt the sword radiance of death. Wung. The Flame Divine Emperor and the rest dodged to the side. But the Princess of Flame and some of the weaker ones were not so lucky. The sword radiance swept across and turned them into ashes. Everyone was shocked when they saw the Tiger Demon Kingdom's general making a move. Thank you, Chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom, for giving us face. We will settle the matters of the Raging Flames Divine Dynasty ourselves. Wuxia smiled when he saw the sword general making his stand. He waved his arm, and the 5 elements grindstone shrouded the Emperor of Flame and the rest. Wung. Rays of light intersected and landed on the Emperor of Flame and the rest, shocking them. They could sense that these crisscrossing rays of light were actually capable of tearing apart this space. Run! The Flame Divine Emperor was furious when he saw this. They had thought that they could cozy up to the Tiger Demon Kingdom, but they did not expect that the Tiger Demon Kingdom was in cahoots with the Dragon Palace. Now that the other party was attacking them, they were finished. All they could think of now was to escape. All they could think of was to stay alive. Shit, what's going on? However, when they wanted to return to their own divine kingdoms, they could not sense the existence of their divine kingdoms. The rays of light seemed to be able to tear the space apart, and they could not sense their eternal divine kingdoms at all. Withdraw! Wang Xian let out a soft roar. The 5 elements grindstone immediately released several powerful arrays. Within the 5 elements grindstone, there were 5 doppelgangers controlling it, and each doppelganger had the combat strength of a level 5 Eternal God Lord. They set up the array to deal with the Raging Flames Divine Dynasty, and there was only one level 5 Immortal King among them. It was a piece of cake. No! The Flame Divine Emperor screamed in horror when he felt the terrifying suction force coming from within. SSS, this means this terrifying divine weapon. When the surrounding forces saw this scene, their pupils shrank slightly. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.